Hello, my YouTube fam. It's a new day, it's a new week, and I love you. I thank you for joining me. Your time is valuable, and I'm going to deliver for you. So much to get to today to start off the week, including Princess Catherine, Shangela, MrBeast, Richard Simmons, Northwest, Scott Disick, and more. But first, very quickly, I want to remind you all that I go live on YouTube every weekday. That's Monday through Friday at this same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And I've set up a membership. If you want to support, I would greatly appreciate your support. I do my live streams for member-only chats. So everyone can watch, but I just switched it to member-only chat. And that's a way that I try to encourage you all, if you enjoy what I do, to please consider becoming a member. Listen, I know not everybody can, but if you can, if I've brought you entertainment and you enjoy this, then please become a member. All right? All right. Hopefully some of my fam that is a member here will be joining because I love interacting with them and them guiding this. But let's start off today with Princess Catherine, who continues to dominate headlines. It is bananas. Like, if you go on Twitter, I get a little weird when I say another platform because I wonder if like this one will rank lower if I mention competition. But look, right now, she's the number 2 trending topic, and then the royal website underneath it. Why is the royal website trending? Let's see that, what that's about. But there's so much to get to. The royal website. Okay. There was some drama. Harry and Meghan were removed from the royal website, but they're back on now. Let me see Harry and Meghan. I think they just moved them around. Okay, no. So they made some changes. They're they had individual bios on the royal website, but Harry and Meghan now have a joint profile. Kind of a little bit of a demotion, but you know what? They're not working senior royals. I want to go read their bios now. Let's see what it says. Okay. If we go to the royal website, deny. Here we go. Okay. Members of the royal family, of course. Hey, Jillian! The king and queen. Isn't that weird to call her queen? But literally, the king, the queen. The Prince and Princess of Wales. Oh, so then they're underneath. Oh, wow. How interesting. Of course, they're not going to have Andrew. The Princess Royale, the Duke. Who's the Duke of Kent? He's high up there. Who's the Duke of Kent? Who the heck is the Duke of Kent? The Duke of Kent? Oh, is that her husband? I'm guessing that's her husband. Is he married to the Princess Royale? Let's see. The Duke of Kent. No. He is the son of Prince George, Duke of Kent. He's the grandnephew. He was a first cousin of Queen Elizabeth. How interesting. Wow, they've got like, here they are. Here they are. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, all the way down below. And they've got a joint profile. As announced in January 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have stepped back as working members of the royal family. The couple married in St. George's Chapel, Windsor, on 19th May 2018 and have 2 children, Prince Archie of Sussex and Princess Lilibet of Sussex. All right. I mean, no, they've still got their individual bios here. They just changed things around. Whatevs. Interesting. So, on my podcast today, we spoke about this royal outing over the weekend that Princess Catherine and Prince William had in Windsor. They live in Windsor, if you've not been up to date. They left Kensington Palace a while ago for a quieter life at Windsor Castle. And yesterday and this morning, there were no photos or video. And that's what I went off on the podcast. But after we recorded the podcast this morning, news broke that there were photos and video. In fact, let me show you. On the cover of tomorrow's The Sun newspaper in the UK, Jillian, great to see you again, Kate. We have a smiling Princess Kate and Prince William. And as Jillian says, staged. More than staged or arranged, this was crafty. This was very crafty of Princess Catherine. It was very strategic. Everything about it, from what we saw her wearing, athleisure, very casual, smiling, no makeup, normal. I'm a royal watcher too, Jillian. I love this. And also Prince William in his baseball cap, which I find funny. They don't even really play baseball in the UK, right? Do other sports use baseball caps? I mean, does cricket use baseball caps? Do they use baseball caps in cricket? I don't know. But there was video. I don't need to watch the video. I don't need to show you the video because that might get me in trouble. But I could show you the front page of the newspaper. But in the video, it was very strategic. It was a short clip of them out at the farm, the shop at the farm, whatever it's called. And I could not see any royal security, like their Secret Service. They had to have been there, but they were quite strategically placed to give the illusion that the future king and queen were out dilly-dallying very casually. Hey, Queen J. Ray. Aw, all good. Appreciate you as always. Have a good day. So everything about that outing, from what they wore to how they presented themselves, was strategic, calculated, crafty. And it served 2 purposes. It allowed the public to see her and like, wow, she's smiling, she looks good. So it was an attempt on their part to silence a little bit all of the conspiracy theories and speculation about Princess Catherine's health. And they showed them as a couple, a united front. to also squash all of the ridiculous rumors going around. You know, everybody talking about that Rose Handy, the alleged mistress, which has never been confirmed. You know, like, you might know, Jillian, it's always just been rumor. I don't believe any credible outlet has ever reported this is true, that it really happened. I mean, it's possible, but it's just a rumor as of now. You think Prince William would be foolish enough to do that? And some of the rumors going around are so bananas, from this alleged mistress engaging in kink play with Prince William, pegging, to another rumor that the alleged mistress was pregnant and decided to keep the baby. like recently pregnant and decided to keep the baby. I just think it's BS. I don't believe it. Unless there's like proof, like, oh, they were spotted together alone here. Like, how come there's no photos? Like, I need photos, I need video, I need proof as well, Jillian. But good on them for that very strategic outing that was photographed. Also on the podcast today, we spoke about Scott Disick, and I shared a clip here on my YouTube. I've got an update, which I was not aware of. One of my Patreon supporters alerted me to the fact that last year, Scott Disick was in a car accident, and that could explain what's been going down. I'll get back to that. Put a pin in it. Let me share with you all these photos of Scott Disick that went viral and got everybody talking. Not feeling 100%, but I'm committed to my YouTube fam. So this photo went viral, and so did this one. And what's interesting to me is this is the photo that I saw first. That's the photo that most of the media ran. And yeah, he looks very thin, gaunt even. But this other photo is also of concern. And it's not even just the frailness. It's also like, look, under his eyes. Underneath his eyes, it's dark. He just looks very unhealthy in both of the photos, both of the angles. And people started to speculate about Scott Disick. People were saying, drugs. I thought, oh my God, maybe he has the C word, cancer. However, one of my Patreon supporters, after we recorded the podcast and listened, she said that Scott Disick was in a car accident and he needed to have back surgery. And that last year he gained a lot of weight because of the back surgery. Because my co-host earlier today speculated that he was on Ozempic. Maybe he's on Ozempic like all the celebrities are. And I'm like, but Scott Disick's never been fat or pudgy or whatever. Last year he was, and I missed that memo because I don't watch the Kardashians on Hulu. Do you watch the Kardashians on Hulu, Jillian? I am feeling myself today, y'all. Even though I don't feel 100%, I love doing this. I enjoy this. It's a great outlet for me. And thank you to everybody that's watching. I stream live on YouTube every weekday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. I do members only chat. So hopefully you'll consider becoming a member. Everybody can watch and everybody can comment after the premiere. Or maybe you can comment now. Can you comment now, just not in the live chat box? Let me see. Just really quickly, let me see if anybody's left to comment. No, I think you can only comment after I end the premiere or in the live chat. Anyways, please consider becoming a member. I do this every weekday, holidays off. And speaking of the Kardashians, North West performed with her father over the weekend at Rolling Loud Festival. And afterwards, she was interviewed. And a Patreon supporter wanted my thoughts on that, which I'll say what I say all the time. North West is not my child. I would not and do not parent like Kim and Kanye do. However, I don't think it was problematic that North did this interview. It was done by a teenage content creator, a very young teen, a 13-year-old. So that felt safe to them, I believe. And also, the other side of the question that Patreon supporter of ours asked was, is she too public? Is North West being thrust out there? Yes and yes. Sorry. However, I think Kim and Kanye have just resigned themselves to a future where they take on that burden of cultivating their daughter's celebrity. What do I mean by that? If they wanted to, they could have given the kids a somewhat normal upbringing. If they wanted to, they could have. I mean, look at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I don't know what their kids look like. And they're both very famous, okay? And friends with Taylor Swift, and, you know, they spend a lot of time in New York City, and I don't see, and especially if you let it be known to the media and you let it be known to your fans and to everybody that you don't want photos of your children being shared, I think that the public is very respectful of that. Like, look at Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. I don't know what their kids look like. They don't share them, and the paparazzi, the media here has been respectful of their desires not to show their minors. But Kim and Kanye, you know, chose to let their kids be on the reality show, chose to let North have her own TikTok, and they've resigned themselves to being complicit and enablers in that. So they're just probably going to give North a bodyguard forever because they can afford it. However, there's going to be resentment and friction because I think of like the Bush daughters and having Secret Service protection. When you're an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old, you're not going to want a bodyguard, especially one that mom and dad pays for, because they're going to serve a dual role of bodyguard, but also spy. So they're going to go and report back to mom and dad everything you're doing. Everything from who you're seeing and doing to what you're snorting or drinking or inhaling or popping or whatever. I think North might only want a bodyguard if she's the one paying for it. And she probably could afford it. She's probably richer than all of us combined already, Northwest. I'm sure she makes money for appearing on her dad's music. I'm sure she makes money for appearing in the Kardashians on Hulu show that Kim puts in some kind of trust or whatever. Like, I share my children on social media, but I also treat them like normal kids and put them in school and don't let them leave school to go perform a dad or whatever. So those are my thoughts on that. Speaking of the children of celebrities, the daughter of Bruce Willis, or one of the daughters of Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, Tallulah, just revealed that she recently got an autism diagnosis, which I find very interesting. There seems to be, I wouldn't call it an explosion, but more and more people getting diagnosed with autism later on in life. And I wonder why that is. I mean, even recently, Holly Madison got an autism diagnosis later on in life. And Holly Madison is in her 40s. Like, how could you go through so many decades without knowing? And I mean, I get it. Maybe Holly is around my age. Maybe in the 80s, they didn't know about autism as much in the 80s. But I feel like in the 90s, like Tallulah is only 30. In the 90s, they really knew about autism. And yes, Jillian, you are correct. I think oftentimes girls, when they're young or women, I don't understand why, but they don't get diagnosed the way that boys do. But obviously, Holly Madison is extremely high functioning with autism. There's no one way that autism works or looks like. Autism is different from person to person, and the levels of severity of autism. So yeah, Tallulah says that after she received her diagnosis, that it changed her life for the better. In other news, I have to be very careful how I word this. Shangela, whom many of you know from RuPaul's Drag Race. She was on several seasons of the show, the regular show, All Stars. Over 5 men have come forward with SA allegations against Shangela, who is a gay man, claiming that Shangela Harvey Weinsteined them. I have to be very careful how I word this. Shangela Harvey Weinstein, 6 men. And the wildest part, not wild, but perhaps the most damning part is these are not a lot of anonymous allegations. Many of the accusers spoke out on the record, naming themselves, outing themselves. So it's not like anonymously saying this or that. No. They said, this is who I am. This is my name. One of them filed a police report last year. I don't know how Shangela can overcome this. I mean, obviously her lawyer is denying all of the allegations, but it's a real bad look. And I don't know how you overcome something like this when you're him. Ay. It sucks, Jillian, but you're probably right. It's weird because Shangela always publicly gave off a loving vibe and was inspiring and ay, ay, ay. All right, let's keep it moving because that was heavy. In other news, Richard Simmons is trending. Richard Simmons is trending because he posted something on Facebook that he was dying. He literally said he's dying. And he didn't mean it. Richard Simmons said earlier today, I have some news to tell you. When you present it like that, Richard said, I have some news to tell you. Please don't be sad. I am dying. Oh, I can see your faces now. The truth is, we're all dying. Every day we live, we are getting closer to our death. Why am I telling you this? Because I want you to enjoy your life to the... Richard! You can't do that. There's no need for him to do that. He's in hiding, living a quiet life. Why he's got a clickbait like that? Hey, Cece Witt. Mwah. How are you? The good news is Richard Simmons is not dying, CC Witt. The bad news is, I've said this on my podcast. I don't know if that's really Richard on his Facebook. I think that's somebody else saying those things. I'm not sure, okay? Take anything that comes out of there with a grain of salt. Some good news also. According to the CDC, Americans are divorcing less. Marriage rates are up and divorce rates are down. Good on you. It seems like people are choosing to marry people that they could see as like a friend and not just a passionate lover. Smart. Also, congratulations to Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom. Kris Jenner's ex and Khloe Kardashian's ex have launched a new podcast together. But they're not going to talk Kardashians, even though that's what we all want. The theme of the show is sports. It's called Keeping Up with Sports. And here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna flop, and the producers or whomever hired them to do this will tell them, you need to talk about the Kardashians on this show. Give some Kardashian anecdotes. Pepper it with some personal Kardashian stories, or there won't be a second season of your show because nobody cares about you without the Kardashians. Harsh but true. Nobody cares about you without the Kardashians. And finally, congratulations to MrBeast. I'm assuming that Cece and Jillian and everybody watching live knows who MrBeast is. He is the most followed person on this platform. Yes, there's another account on YouTube that has more followers, but it's run by a company, some Indian account. But MrBeast has over 250 million subscribers on YouTube. Bananas. And he also has over 50 million on Instagram. He's extremely well followed and liked, but will that translate to traditional success for MrBeast? He is about to find out. It was just announced today that MrBeast is going to be executive producing and hosting a new game show for Amazon Prime Video. It's called Beast Games. And it sounds like a ripoff of, what's that show? The one where they kill people? Not the Hunger Games. Squid Games. It sounds like Squid Games. There's going to be 1,000 people competing for the biggest cash prize in the history of television. there's going to be a $5 million cash prize. Wow. That's a life-changing amount of money. Like for anyone, that would change my life. I wish I came into $5 million now because I know now what to do with it. Here's the best bit of advice. If you get $5 million, you'll probably get a little over 3, like maybe 3.5 after taxes. So if you have $3.5 million cash, my advice to you is save $1 million liquid. So you have $1 million in the bank, just sitting there it could even be like a basic savings account. And if you have $1 million sitting in a basic savings account, that will make you at least $20,000 a year doing nothing. Because what? Like a basic savings account is just like a little over 2%. Then the 2.5 million that you have left over, invest in real estate. Buy a house for yourself, and then buy a couple other houses or a duplex, a triplex, an apartment building, but don't buy them all cash. Like, don't buy them in full. Make sure that you're able to get a very low mortgage rate and have an expert do the calculations for you, because you actually get tax breaks by having a mortgage. I know it's counterintuitive. I know that you would want to pay it off all in full, but don't pay it off all in full. Maybe like put 50% down and then do the correct calculations with an expert and set yourself up so that you're making passive income every month so that you never have to worry about money. And that $1 million that you have in the bank, you can use that to do any repairs on the homes that might need this fixing, or the apartment building that you bought needs to get that fixed, or the triplex needs that fixed, or whatever. Anyways, I can barely breathe. I don't feel well. I'm taking this. I'm taking this. I hope to God I feel better tomorrow. Oh my God, did I finish? Oh, no, I have one left. I'm gonna log off now. However, please, everybody watching, if you enjoyed my live stream today, consider becoming a member here. Join my YouTube channel, and I would love to chat with you. The live streams every day are member-supported, member-only chats, but everybody can watch, free to watch, $4.99 if you want to chat and support. Your support is greatly appreciated. I take this seriously. I'm here every Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. I will see you tomorrow right here on YouTube. Have a good night, Jillian and Cece and everybody else. Bye.